Alright, welcome back now. Race 15 for the Xfinity Series. This lovely afternoon, we have another guest visitor, Tristan Grace, once again in the booth with me, battling COVID-like symptoms. He's on the mend though. He's gonna survive. We're all glad to have you back here, Tristan. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just watching practice go, watching my guy Freddie John make these laps.
Hoping we have a little bit more action than we saw in the truck race, although, you know, only having, I think, one DNF wasn't always a bad thing. It's cheaper for the team owners. GMS suffered that casualty with the, I think it was a camshaft failure for one of his trucks, but other than that, everyone's finished the race, although not on the lead lap. Congratulations to Jason Donovan for being the first driver to lock his way into the Final Four for the Truck Series. But we're moving on to Xfinity now. Alex Jarvie won the last race at Kansas, and he is locked into the Championship 4. So that leaves 7 other competitors looking to clinch their way in today. Those would be Hope Torres, Nicholas King, Jack Carr, Dominic Hall, Archie McDonald, Sebastian Alonso, and our boy Ron Marks, who had a very bad finish at Kansas. So he is 8th and last. However, he's only 17 points out of it. So I think, you know, with some luck and maybe, you know, a strong finish, he could be back in it come Martinsville. And we feel like, I personally feel like his strength might be short tracks because he won at Bristol Motor Speedway earlier on in the season. So this could be all playing into Ron Marks' wheelhouse. Come to the next race, he just needs to survive Talladega. But yeah, between if you get rid of Alex Jarvie and Hope Torres, who is 30 points above the cut line, Nicholas King is 3rd, and he is 13 points above the cut line. So everyone's kind of about, what is it? I guess 20 points difference. I think it's going to be very close between, you know, 3rd to 8th place. It could very much be all backwards come out of this race here. We'll see what happens, but I guess that's enough talking. Let's get into qualifying and see how everything's going to stack up. Like Alex Jarvie is one of the faster cars on there. Mike Atkinson, we always see Matitude do well. Looks like Anderson's right up there in the 3rd spot with another Jarvie. So we got a Jarvie or Matitude sandwich between the bread of Jarvie Motorsports. So let's see. Ron Marks on the pole to start this one. Caleb Lane outside front row. Kyle Simpson 3rd. Erickson in 4th. That's a good start for him. Price rounding out your top 5, and Dave Grubb, race winner, who won at Texas 2 races ago, is right there in 6th. Looking through this, trying to find our playoff drivers. I see Hope Torres right down there in 17th, and further back we got King. I don't see King anywhere. Oh, right there, right beside his teammate. Jack Carr 12th, McDonald in 7th. That's a good spot for him. Alonso, where is Alonso? Ooh, 35th, so he fell a little bit further back than I'm sure he would have liked. Ron Marks on pole, so that's the next competitor down. Dominic Hall right there in 22nd, so the field is very well spread apart. We're going to see who's going to have the better pit stops, who's going to have the better strategy, and most importantly, who's going to survive the big one if we have it. Start this sucker off. Still riding with Freddie John. But Ron Marks doing a very good job to help his playoff chances, running alongside Caleb Lane, who didn't make the playoffs, but has had a pretty good season. 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s. Not too bad. 15.07 finishing position. Such a competitive season in Xfinity. I think we've had 9 different winners and 14 races. Only a few drivers have won multiple races. Alex Jarvie being the newest member to that list, getting the last victory at Kansas. Ron Marks would like to be the newest after this race, getting his second win after this one. We'll see if he can win from pole. Matt Moss nearly did it in the truck race, finishing 3rd, nearly 2nd, but losing a position at the last lap there. Those HRI guys are quick. They are silently quick, I would say. I was looking at some of the upgrades done for the teams here. I'd say between Jarvie Motorsports, Hustlers Racing, and Hughes, those are probably the 3 top teams that have upgraded the most this season. So not surprising to see a lot of them up the front here. Ron Marks takes us to green. 47 laps once again. It's probably about the same for pit strategy, about 13 to 15 laps maybe. If they can do 15 laps, they'll be very good, but 3 stops will be pretty much imminent here. I don't see... if they do 4 stops, it's obviously not going to be a good race, but 3 stops would be ideal. Marks takes the lead. Simpson looking low early. Let's see which line has the most momentum. Looks like Simpson is dragging the low line with him. Matt Price up there. We haven't seen too much of him since he started and took over that 43 car, but he's had some good finishes. Like Simpson leading that first one. A couple of drivers in the top 10 that are winless, including that 5 car of Caleb Johnson, who took over from his team owner Matt Moss, who demoted himself to promote this young man. And sure, he's been running good, but hasn't finished well. At Chick-fil-A Chevrolet.
Yes, Chick-fil-A, a staple of the South.
You know what, they have a couple where I am. I think they opened a second location not too far from me, but I've never been. I've always wanted to go, and it's been in Toronto for at least a year and a half now. I've never gone. I should definitely go.
You definitely should. You have to try their chicken sandwich and their mac and cheese.
Sounds good. Forgot to mention the VRM boys. Not only did they do some upgrading, they also did a little bit of upgrading in the paint shop. You can see that 99 sporting a look nobody would be familiar with, as she's been in a white car most of the season. White with hints of blue. She's gone all red to finish out the season. I think that car definitely stands out more now. Torres, the red and white Dodge Mopar, kind of reminiscent of the Evernham Dodges.
Yes, unmistakable schemes.
I always liked the Dodges on the Evernham cars when they first reintroduced Dodge back in NASCAR. It was pretty cool to see those 2 cars out there. If I can find regular season points winner right there, Nicholas King. Similar paint scheme, but not really. It's definitely more blue. than it was. More blue in the back. Took me a while to kind of figure out what the differences were. I had to go back to the old paint just to see that the blue is definitely more prominent now on the car, especially in the back. So same but different. You can see another playoff driver right behind King there. Alonso looking for a good finish here, needing a good finish to get out of this round. Alonso has been somewhat disappointing, in the words of Jess Hanna. We'll see if this driver has a job next season. Somewhat expensive. I think he's the most expensive driver. Ooh, and the 26 car making a stop on lap 5. Nicholas King on pit road. This is definitely unscheduled.
Problems for sure for Nicholas King right there.
He only had 13 points to play with coming into this one, so unless he gets a caution, this is going to sting. Like they're doing some work on that car. Has it been lowered down on the tires? There you go. Off he goes. He's probably going to lose a lap. So, know your face up front. We're starting to get a familiar face of Alex Jarvie back in the lead with Freddie John coming on the inside. Is Freddie John going to get this lap?
Boy, Freddie.
Doesn't look like he's going to quite lead that one, but very close. Maybe the next one, as Nicholas King now merges back onto track. Hopefully King doesn't lose the draft here, or he'll go potentially 2 laps down for the first round of pit stops even. Looks like he'll be okay. He'll probably sort himself out to the back of this pack. These cars look a little bit more racy than the trucks did. Especially on that low line, making the low line work, as you can see the 17 of Anderson snatching up the lead from the low line. Freddie John starting to lose a bit of momentum now. Through the field a little bit, we see Wayne King starting to make some more regular appearances up at the front here. That Menard's Chevy had an abysmal season, I would say, to put the least amount of damage on that. It's been terrible. He was a top 4 contender in the Truck Series last season, much like Mike Carroll, just had the season from hell. And it's nice to see some of these guys who have been down on their luck the last 15 races or so start to change things around. I'll be at the end of the season. Might be a little late to make some points up, but it's better late than never, I say, as they go 4 wide now. The 92 Turner Madden have no help there, so might have to port that run. Freddie John is starting to get absorbed into the pack. He's in the sucker hole now. Ron Marks is falling back ever so slightly. See the 4 car of Zane Garrett didn't quite make the last round of cuts in the playoffs. He had a very terrible first round, but rebounding from the damage that was done the last 3 races prior to Kansas, and doing all right so far. cars definitely look a lot more racy than the trucks. Might have lost a few cars in the lead draft here. Looks like the 0, the 42 there, Zach Shaw, lost the draft. Of course, the 26 is a lap down. You can see him on the high line. We're gonna start to see some cars make their way down pit road. It's far too early. The car and the 20 pretty much by themselves. Saw this in the last race. That's not going to be the right strategy if there's no caution coming up. I think this is the lap you can make it on 3 stops now. So if you pit on lap 12, should be good for 3 stops. Nobody can make it on 2, so I think it might be 1 lap too early for Wayne King. See who comes down pit road. Ooh, 31 of Cook. Whoa, where did that come from? He's going to hit the wall very
31
hard.
31 is around into the wall.
Not even going to make it on pit road. And I don't think the caution came out. That's going to ruin Cook's chance. Some hopping on the infield. And hits the wall again for good measure, and aborts the qualifier, the pit stop altogether. Just a disaster for the 31 of Thomas Cook. And he'll have to make his way down for another pit stop. That was a very hard hit. We'll take a look at that right after the majority of pit stops. And looks like we're going to have a lot of cars come down pit road. The 5 of Caleb Johnson. Ooh, some contact there between the 89 and the 5. Everyone else kind of made their way down all right. Heavy traffic. Are the cars coming out of the pits. Their stop, and these are your leaders. I don't think the 17 has made a pit stop yet. I think 17 might be out of fuel. She's slowing down. That's or sorry, E used to Lily Holmes being in that 17, but Anderson out of gas. Meanwhile, the 2, the 33, and 26, actually the 26 is lapped down, so these are your second last round of cars coming down pit road. 5 and 92. In the first pit stalls. Not sure if the 17 is going to make it back. We might have a caution from on the track once things kind of sort themselves out after the pit stops. Look at our leader here. And
Grubb all by himself there.
Slowing down. He is well off the pace. I think the 33 might be out of gas as well. See the 17. Looks like she's going to try and force a caution by stopping on the track. That's a dirty move. Looks like the 9 car of Alex Jarvie also running out of fuel. These guys all risking it early. Of course, the 9 car could afford to take a risk, but I don't know. It's a little early for that type of gamble. Holmes kind of posts her way to the pits. Depending on where her pit box is, she may not make it back. Likely would have been quicker just for a tow.
It's quite likely at this point.
Let's try and find our leader, shall we? I think it's the 5, 89, and the 61, with the 69 trailing. I think this is your lead group here. After that round of pit stops, 4-car breakaway with the 20. right up there as well, but the 20 is on a different strategy, so 20's praying for a caution to come out. Kind of level the playing field. Here's... oh, what happened to our boy Freddie John as the 17's still trying to get on their pit box, the 2 car. Sure what that was about. It was all by himself. Also very slow.
Must have run out of fuel.
Yeah, looks like. Just for fun, since we're already here, let's go back to that 31 incident. The 31 was in the high line coming off of 4. And then just
Like,
decides
alright,
to...
I'm turning left now.
and that's just a big hit involving Soto as well.
Ouch.
Soto getting himself back on the track. Likely losing the draft and maybe some body work as well. Back live now. Car's still getting his toe. The 17's finally made his way. The second group. Well, that was a pretty hectic first round of pit stops. Let's see what the second round has for us.
So far, it's been a complete disaster for Blue Dog Racing.
Yeah, I mean, Shaw losing the draft early. Now Freddie John, who was challenging for the lead, deciding to gamble and go for broke. Oh, looks like the 9 car's out with a valve issue. Expensive DNF for me. Be glad he won at Kansas. I think the first round, Alex, he won the first race, and then the last 2 races in that round didn't go very well for him, so have a blessing. He won the first race of each round so far. Meanwhile, Callum Johnson keeping along with the Matitude tradition of being fast at super speedways, holding the team flag for Matitude at Talladega here. Couple Chevys and Dodge and a Toyota in the running up 4 here. And I discussed the Truck Series team points, manufacturers, and rookie points. Do the same here. Looks like VRM has a 5-point lead over Jarvie Motorsports heading into this race, so that's very much up for grabs still, with HRI still only about 15 points behind first place. And then going over to the manufacturer points, we have Ford up on Chevy by 10 points, Chevy leading Dodge by 8 points, and then Toyota struggling heavily, 20 points behind Dodge, so still pretty close. Ford could clinch the manufacturer championship with I think they would need to pretty much win it today to do that. Rookie points, Kyle Simpson with an 8-point lead over Brendan McLaughlin, so if he can get another solid finish, he won't clinch today, but likely might go on to win Rookie of the Year honors in Xfinity. It's a pretty highly contested title. 7 drivers going for Rookie of the Year honors this season. Wayne King was caught now by this second pack, so we'll see if they can start to gain on our leaders. Nearly 6 seconds behind. Like they gained about a quarter of a second that time by, but they won't catch before the next round of pit stops, that's for sure. Here's our third pack.
Eddie Jones finally gotten out of the pits.
Yeah. 3 laps down. Same with the 17 car. Anderson. 31 off pace, 1 lap down. Likely might be caught by the 2 and 17 if things stay green the rest of the way. 26 car, Nicholas King, out of the lead lap and out of race win contention. Whole thing's going to be shaken on its head by the end of this, the playoff tree that is. Matthew Price still doing a solid job here for GMS, I think. Yeah, still looking for a top 10. Got his teammate there in the 21 car. Trisha DeLeon. Got the 48 of Atkinson right there behind them. Start to see our second round of stops happening momentarily. Dave Grubb in this 4th pack. Nearly half a lap behind, about 19 seconds behind our leaders. All these guys are. Ron Marks involved. The first round of stops dilemma looked like, all the way down from first position pole down to 19th. Alonso's in this pack as well. See Jack Carr, also another playoff driver in that orange yellow Oscar Mayer car. Very deep in the pack there, right there. Auckland and Simpson, that 24 and 81, the top rookie contenders. Like Carlos Perez lost the draft. 9th, 36 seconds behind leader. Cars coming out of the pits, and looks like McDonald was the only driver to stay out. Lap 25 or lap 24, sorry. So we'll see how much longer he can go, but if he stays out too much longer, he'll lose the draft. Like he's gonna come in this time by. That's a smart choice. Some more cars pitting. Atkinson and Madden. Let's see where this 89 car files back in. That 4th group coming down. Looks like there was some contact between these drivers. I don't see anything too serious. There's your 5 car. He was your leader going into the stops. He's by himself. There goes Johnson over McDonald. A huge lead. There go the other two. 69 and the 61. What do you think, Tristan? Do you think this might be Johnson's day today?
I believe so. I believe he might be able to get it done given the circumstances. He's got a pretty good lead from the looks of it.
Yeah,
on the 61 and the
Tanner and Gallagher keep fighting side by side. I'm gonna help Johnson's chances. Looks like they've left McDonald out to dry. But,
as much as I'd like to see Callum Johnson win, I'd also like to see Tanner his first ever win.
Looks like we got 3 non-playoff drivers in the top 3. Up 27 of 47, still no caution, and they are now 3 wide for the lead. See, rookie Liam Tanner should go for his first win today as well. These are all non-winners that we see right here, all going for their first win. Be exciting for any of these team owners. I would say especially for GMS. I don't think GMS has won a race in a while.
Let's hopefully Liam can get his first ever win today, and I can finally understand the hype behind this rookie.
He has, let's take a look at his stats here. Liam Tanner sitting 29th in points, average finish of 24. Only one top 10 this season, so has not been a great season for this young man. Third last in the rookie points. Last if you want to count drivers who have only completed the full season. So, been a pretty rough go for him these first 14 races. Might be looking at his first top 5 here today, maybe even his first win. Sophie Gallagher, on the other hand, had an average finish of 14th, 4 top 5s and 7 top 10s, so I would say she's very overdue for a win at this point. Very competitive series we have here. It's unlikely she'll go many more top 5s without a win. Leading all drivers that haven't made the playoffs by about 21 points, so doing a pretty good job so far this season. Not a rookie, but let's say her talents might go all the way to Cup next season if her owner allows her to. Team owner, that is.
Yes, lots of interesting silly season moves are going to be made once the season is over, with Cup opening up to everybody.
Yep. Got Callum Johnson in his 5th start today. That's had pretty rough go of it as well. 24.25 average finish, no top 10s. I think 1 or 2 DNFs to that list as well. I think most of us should have read what I wrote in the Discord, but there will be some changes going on. The bigger of the two, I would say, is contracts are going to start. So that'll be kind of interesting to see how everyone works on those deals. I'm still working on the details. I will have that sorted out by the time the season's finished, but yeah, the ability to sign contracts and drivers to contracts makes more sense to me. So it's not such a Wild West driver market style. Gives you some repercussions to signing drivers long term, or, you know, could also reward your team.
Yes, definitely. That was a smart move.
Yeah, I think, well, my thinking to it was if people are going to start switching drivers, because the second rule would have been team points coming into play. If there's no repercussions to changing drivers, you still have the points, then there should at least be some sort of penalty to it, which I think kind of goes hand in hand. So yeah, those 2 changes coming up. We'll see how that works for Cup and all that. But come next season, most teams, or at least a handful of teams at the very least, will have 9 drivers on their roster. And I'm curious to see where everyone's going to place their drivers and see how everything shapes up for them.
That's absolutely. What do you see as being your silly season moves for Jarvie Motorsports?
Well, I don't think I've shied too far away from being transparent about my Cup program. It's absolutely garbage. Probably add a veteran or 2 on the roster there. What I do with my youth guys, I'm not 100% sure whether I get rid of them or maybe trade them off. I don't think there's too much value in them. But yeah, I would like to add a veteran presence to my truck program. Xfinity, I haven't fully decided yet, depending on how far my 3 drivers get along. I'll likely be moving my guy up to Cup. But for McDonald and Simpson, not 100% sure yet. Might keep them here. I might move them up. We'll see. But McDonald is definitely making a good case for a promotion. Simpson, we'll see. But I don't see them getting terminated after this season. I think they've done pretty admirably for myself. But yeah, so shakeup coming in trucks, but Xfinity, I'd say those 3 drivers are safe for at least another season. What about yourself?
Well, obviously we're going to be going to Cup next season. We're going to try and start everything off with a 3-car team. We're going to have some prime drivers on it. I know I'm definitely going to move myself up to Cup, which you could see that I was moving somewhere if you've looked at my
yeah, I noticed
poster
that.
with all my truck series paint schemes on that.
I noticed the 2 truck didn't have a sponsor on it, so I knew you were promoting yourself for sure. Whether it was Cup or Xfinity, I wasn't sure, but see, lead cars make their pit stop. Looks like Gallagher's going to get left out to dry, but fortunately for her, she's going to have some drafting help, so this may not be such a huge penalty. But our other 2 leaders are on pit road. See what they do. It's going to be 2 tires and fuel likely. This will be the last stop of the day. I want to fill that thing as full of fuel as possible, even though there's 11 laps to go. Don't want to take any chances. Off they go. Looks like no issues from them. And go on to the 69. Of course, nice little speed job there. 42 coming down with her, even though on the lead lap. Well, that's interesting. You're going to move yourself right up to Cup. So, as for Xfinity, do you see yourself giving yourself a 3rd team, or are you going to just stick with 2?
Definitely gonna myself a 3rd team. I'm not sure who I'm gonna move into either of the teams. I might go for few prime drivers in Xfinity, like Attitude Motors and HRI, and
Yeah, well,
basically almost everybody else in the Xfinity series is done.
See, because looks like, according to Matt in the chat here, Anderson might be a free agent after this season's over. Whether he's being replaced in just Xfinity and being promoted, I don't see likely happening. He's had a pretty bad season. Anderson, I think, is one of the highest paid drivers out there. Hasn't shown it all season. So I'd be frustrated right up there with Matt, as the top 3 are very well spaced out now. The 61 is leading the 5. The stack up before this one's over, that's for sure. I think they're all very evenly spaced apart. C9 obviously kind of speeding on pit road, getting that huge advantage. Some lap cars potentially playing a factor now. Hope Torres in the background. We'll be looking for a top 5 this afternoon. 42 getting around the 69, allowing the 61 to catch up. Wonder if the 5 car will have enough to catch up as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this off season is going to be an interesting one for sure. Repercussions to the signings, it's for sure. You know, you're going to give obviously a bit of a break or a discount if you sign a longer term, but the longer the term, the bigger the penalty if you release them sooner. So, I see a little bit of dust on the track. Seen any smoke? Ron Marks there. I think anyone tried to stretch it after that first round of pit stops. Looks like we lost the 5 car in the lead pack, but the 33 is shown as the leader, still needed to make his last pit stop. This is your net lead. 84, Jack Carr, make his final pit stop. This will take less fuel than the leaders were able to, so probably won't catch them, but able to gain a little bit of ground on them. Cycle through a little bit where everyone's favorite drivers are. 31. Car doesn't look too bad considering it's in the wall on lap 12. Had a couple of retirements. The 17 retiring, potentially from running out of fuel earlier, had an ignition issue. 19, which was the player car, so no effects there. The 84 is finished. That pack behind him will absorb him. This is the second pack behind our leaders, or it will be once everything kind of sorts its way through. Fourth on back. Guys are about 7 seconds behind their leaders, so this pack is very well spread out. It's all to fight for still for some of these guys. Ron Marks still battling for a top 6 position, maybe even top 5 if they can catch the 33 there. And who else we have? We have McDonald there in the 89, also in the playoffs, the 99. Torres just looking for a top 10 finish. That should bring great attention to point her way into the final championship round. 5 car is looking like get absorbed into that second pack. Here is leaders, the 61, the white and black leaf filter Dodge, and the 69 yellow Freight Tomato Supra right in the back. Not gonna jinx anything, but we've almost had 2 caution free races. Not the most exciting races, but huge playoff implications. Like your boy Zach Shaw still managing to stay on the lead lap, even though he was the first to lose the draft, made up about 10 positions.
Surprising recovery from Shaw there.
Freddie John was not able to replicate that. He's 37th.
Yeah.
Sophie Gallagher starting to fall back a little bit from this pack. And on lap 45, we got 4 to go. Sorry, 3 to go.
Maybe Tanner just has to hold on for more laps and we'll have his first win.
Yeah, he didn't win in the Truck Series either, so this will be his first win in this league. Sophie Gallagher, on the other hand, hasn't won either, but consistent finishes are only a matter of time before she gets her first win. Look, Atkinson just didn't peak at the right time this season. He's been quick all season in that Exalta Chevy, but just too many bad races in a row. On Marks, man, I'm pretty sure I said this a few broadcasts ago, but I said Ron Marks was going to make it into the round of 8, and here he is. Mind you, he was last after Kansas, but he won't be last after this one. If this driver points his way in, I'm sure. Oh, Dave Grubb looks like he might be out of fuel. He's on the apron.
Uh-oh.
Running third. Sure, he looks like he's still going pretty high rate of speed. Now he's slowing down. About 130, so that's a good finish wasted now. Go, final lap now for our lead drivers. So the car of Barry. Apron there. Looks like Zach Shaw is still holding off Liam Tanner.
Alright. When it rains, it freaking pours, I guess. Love you too.
Comes Liam Tanner off of turn 4. Looks like he's going to get GMS their first win in a very long time. And their first in Xfinity. Liam Tanner upsets the playoff field and gets his first Xfinity Series win here at Talladega. Sophie Gallagher finishing a very close second. But look at this pack here for third. Looks like Ron Marks was able to get it over Callum Johnson. Caleb, sorry. No, Callum. Was I calling him Caleb the whole broadcast? I just realized that.
I think so.
Oh well. Good race for Ron Marks. Johnson in 4th. Curtis, nice finish there in 5th. Hope Torres getting solid points here today. Finishing 6th, going down the order here for playoff drivers. Let's see, Nicholas King well down there in 33rd. Jack Carr right in 17th. That's a very average finish. Dominic Hall, he had a, where is Hall? 23rd. I'll keep things close between those two drivers. Archie McDonald, disappointing 35th place finish. He'll likely need to win at Martinsville to make it in the show. Alonso finishing 13th, so that's decent for him. Not the points day he would have wanted, but still pretty good. That'll keep him in the fight. But Liam Tanner is your man of the hour, winning and kind of upsetting the playoff format a little bit. Not able to clinch their way in is Ron Marks. So that's actually 2 pole sitters that finished 3rd in a row, so that's kind of interesting. Ron Marks is definitely the playoff driver of the day. And that was another race here at Talladega. Next one's going to be at Martinsville for both trucks and Xfinity. I'm going to jump off here, update things a little bit later, maybe after the NASCAR race happening tonight. But hope you guys all enjoyed it, and we'll see you at Martinsville.